Hey everybody, welcome to my garage. If you're a subscriber or joined me before, welcome back. Amelia's decided to join me again this morning. And what we're going to be doing today is a carburetor synchronization on my 1989 Transalp. This was kind of my first mid-weight bike. It's what I stepped up from years ago from an XL600V. And she's got a little over 60,000 miles on her. But I wanted to show you guys how to do the carb sync. I'm going to pause you all and we'll be back in just a moment. Step number one is go for a ride to warm up the engine. You can do this in the garage, but I'm not sure why you would. I'm just giving you a perfectly valid excuse to go bomb around for a few minutes. A carburetor sync is something that often gets overlooked. This is actually intended to be a fairly common service. Should probably be done every time you change your air filter realistically. If you like to do that when you're doing your oil, even better. This is a K&N air filter on this machine, so I just give it a good wash when I do my oil changes. And then set my carburation afterwards. And this machine has been very recently synchronized. This was just a service that someone asked to see, so I was going ahead and doing it. So I can't show you the effects, the stumbling and things of that nature that are displayed when you need this service. But if you have any sort of stumbling and slow takeoffs, your revs don't build rapidly, they don't drop rapidly when you pull in the clutch like mine are doing, then you probably need a carburetor synchronization done. I'm going to go ahead and pause you guys, and I'll pick you back up when we get back to the shop and start disassembly. So I'm going to just kind of do one side here, as they're both the same, and I suspect anybody with a Transalp probably knows very well how to take it apart anyway. I've long suspected that it's kind of a dual sport personality thing to simply take your machines apart whether they need it or not. Sorry if I'm knocking you out of view there to get to that screw. But all we're going to have to take apart on this is to pull off our side panels, our seat, and take our tank loose. My rears can be a little bit of a pest to get through those bags. I've replaced my seat bolts with just honestly standard battery bolts. Makes it a lot easier taking that off frequently than having to go hunt for the wrench. But I'll go ahead and take these off and be right back with you all. The next thing we need to take off is this bolt that retains the gas tank to the frame. It's a 12 millimeter. And down here, we'll probably need a little light for this. We'll need to pull this hose that runs to your cylinder head for a vacuum to work your vacuum operated petcock, and I'll show you how to hook that up so that your fuel works and everything works correctly when we go to do the synchronization. But you can just pull that off. the way that I do this, I have a broken tab on one of mine, but I just back it off, turn your fuel off, obviously, on both sides. Pop the other tab loose. And then just pick the tank up and move it backwards. Sorry, I'm struggling a bit with the light. And really from here, as long as we can see that hole to reach down to the adjuster screw, you can absolutely leave your tank in this position, start the motorcycle and do this. Let me give you guys a pause real quick. I am going to remove that so I can take the air box loose to show you exactly where the adjuster screw is and things like that. And we'll be right back. I've got the air box off, and the screw that we're going to be reaching for when we go underneath, trying to get this in the light where I'm not blocking you all, is this one right here. This is your adjustment screw that you reach through the hole in the air box to reach. And what you have going on is this carburetor is always drawing essentially the same amount of air. This one can be adjusted. This screw adjusts your linkage on your secondary carburetor to match your first one and bring the two in line at a set RPM rate. I'm going to go ahead and pause you guys again, put everything back together now that I've explained where I'm going, and we'll get started with the synchronization. Be back in a minute. Now what we have here on the right hand side, you saw where I plugged in or unplugged our vacuum fueled petcock on the opposite side. That's what gives us a vacuum to our rear head. For the front head, you have to unscrew this JIS screw and replace it with a brass fitting. Some of the carburetor synchronizers come with them. Some of them you have to purchase it separately. Get that out of there. This little sealing washer, you do want to use that when you put in your brass plug. Hopefully you guys can see that. We're going to simply slide the sealing washer on it and thread it right back in where we got that screw from. And that is what's going to give us our vacuum reading on the front cylinder. Now my carburetor synchronizer, I bought years ago. I got it from Aerostitch. It is a Carbmate made by Techmate, and it's digital. I'll show it to you here. It hooks up to the battery. You can see I've got my leads on the battery. And before you get started, you want to make certain that it is in the center, on 0 on atmospheric air. You've got a reference carburetor on a V-twin. It shows that as being the carburetor that your throttle is physically connected to on the left. And other carb. Other carb is the one that you're setting to the reference, which is going to be this guy on the right. I will plug him in. I will take you around to the other side and show you where I have the other one plugged in at as well. Just in case you forgot where that vacuum fueled petcock came off of. It plugged in right there. And what I have done is I've plugged in a Y to that port with just a small length of hose coming off. Goes into a plastic Y. This is connected to the synchronizer, and we're going to connect this one back out to our vacuum operated petcock so that we have gasoline as we're doing this. I'm going to go ahead and pause you guys and set the fuel tank up and run the lines, and then we'll get to the synchronization. Be right back. We're just about done here. I've got the screwdriver through the airbox port down into the screw that it needs to interface with. Our carburetor synchronizer, we're going to back it off a little bit, get it between 1.5 and 1 centimeters of mercury, and we'll adjust down finer and finer until we get to where we're going. Now, if this is helping you all, please do like and subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very much for helping me get my channel off the ground. I hope you're enjoying the content. Let's go ahead and see where we are. Every time you make an adjustment there, we're good. So let's bring it down to 1. Looks pretty darn good at 1. Maybe bring it a hair lower. Let's go down to 0.5 resolution. And we need an adjustment there for sure. Give it a blip. Need to go back a hair the other way. And at 0.5, it is truly almost impossible to get any better. I'm going to call that good, because if we come back up to 1, we're easily in resolution. So there you go, guys. That is the carburetor sync. I won't bore you all with making you watch me put this whole thing back together. I will show you real quickly the rev gauge. Go ahead and start her back up. Seems to be a little stuck occasionally. Oh, let me take the screwdriver out so we can actually get where we're going without the binding. You get a nice crisp raise and a fast drop. That's what you're looking for. Thanks again for joining me, guys. I will catch you on the next one.